Hey everybody, Joe here. Welcome back to another Sharpie marker doodle. Today's theme is start with inspiration. And what I'm going to start with are some really real, 100% real, 100% fake real sunflowers. Yeah, let's just get started. Let's go. I picked these because I think I got these on sale at Michael's. And what's nice about them is that they're I think fairly realistic in terms of, you know, as far as like silk fake flowers go. I don't know if they're actually silk. But really, you know, starting from inspiration is, you know, I like all the little nooks and crannies, everything that kind of goes about like how these are formed and put together, the layering that the you know, whoever designed these flowers put into them is pretty interesting. You know, a lot of interesting folds, you know, moving back and forth of the materials, and you know, and the different textures too. So, if you can, be sure to check out you know, check out your local Michael's or a craft store, someplace that has fake flowers, because especially in the winter, really worthwhile picking up. A lot of different things that, you know, excuse me. You know, as you're looking for inspiration, these are the kinds of things that you know, can get you going. And because there's really, when you're doodling, there's no way to do it wrong. And you know, this is, I think you should always, you know, to me, cartoon first and then draw next. Draw second. You know, draw, refine. Cartoon first, refine second. Right? I mean, you're really kind of looking at, how does this look? You know, you can change your angles. There's lots of things you can do, and really kind of go where your imagination takes you. Is this just a flower? Is there something, you know, you could cartoon something behind it? Is, you know, put something in the background. And the more you do this, the more you'll be able to pull from your own imagination and just come up with stuff on this kind of the spur of the moment, and change the way your doodle patterns go. You know, it doesn't have to be all shapes and well, it has to be shapes and lines. I guess those are basic forms of design, but it doesn't always have to be the same. Like, okay, I'm drawing circles, or I'm going to do this cross hatching a certain way. And the more you can do to change, you know, how you, like, what your habits are. I fall into, you know, drawing habits a lot in terms of motion and how things are put together, and really sometimes it feels like, okay, I'm just drawing this again because that's the way I've always drawn it. But you're drawing kind of, you know, this is from life, even though it's fake. When you're drawing from life that way, you can give yourself, you know, you just basically kind of can change those habits and form new ones, and give yourself some ideas of, okay, yeah, that's the way I want to do this. That's the way, you know, you discover new ways of creating textures, new ways of creating the things that are in your imagination, and the stories you want to tell, and the ideas you want to get across, and how you can create that, whether it's through abstracts or realism. But you can really, you know, change how things go, and really just, you know, have fun with what you're doing. And it doesn't have to take a long time either. You don't have to spend, you know, 4 hours creating a doodle, creating a drawing. You know, sometimes I'm looking at how the this flower actually looks, and what's forming behind it. But I'm also thinking about, okay, well, what did I do here? Like, for instance, right here, I want to add some shadows behind. And some of these are, you know, some of these are habits. Like, some of the ways I've created these forms are things that, you know, I just find you can just doodle. But other things, you know, there's things that, how do I get this to look like it's in the background? What forms, you know, what lines can I do? Can I add? Can I make a thick shape? Thick line come in. but it's really, building up shapes. Start from inspiration. What inspires you? It doesn't have to be even flowers. It could be wherever you're sitting, what's in the room. And I think I'll go through that with my next video. Like what's just, looking around and seeing what's there and how does it go. Do these contour line drawings. A lot of what I'm doing is really just kind of looking at where my pen is on the paper, and what can I do that will kind of get this to look like a flower. What are the things that make these petals, make them look like petals, make them look like you're going through some stuff. Going through the the image that I'm doodling here, right? And that's speaking of doodles. So I guess that's one of the things that, like, what is a doodle? Is it just something from your imagination? Is it something that, the more, I think it's just, to me, a doodle is in my sketchbook or in, when I'm sketching, it's just, I'm having fun. And I think, to me, doodling is fun. Whether you're doing it in your class, whether you're doing it when somebody's, when you're taking notes, and the more you can, get your drawing across, the more you're having fun, the more you're going to want to do it. The more you do it, the better you get at learning how to develop the language of these images that you're talking, like that you're creating. That language of visualization, pulling the viewer into your thoughts and how this is going. Okay, so we got some stuff. So right now with this page, let's think about filling up the page a little bit. And I think with that I can do. Let's fill in some color here. Color. let's fill it in with some blacks. Fill the black in. Create a black shape maybe that's going behind everything. Now, as you can see, since this is the fine pointed Sharpie, you kind of have to do a little bit of back and forth pretty fast, scumbling, where I'm just filling in a shape. Now I could switch to the thicker marker, but at this point I think I'm close to where I want to be to have just been done. And I'm holding the flower at a certain angle, which I'm going to probably shift it a little bit. Maybe that's the idea. So now I've got these flowers. There's another flower that's kind of over here. Let's just basically, this is a contour drawing. It's a quick contour drawing. I'm going through, and I'm picking my pen up, which I guess is can be a no-no, but really. This kind of texture in here. Are you having fun? There's no rules if you're having fun and you're doodling and you're learning about the form of what creates this flower. Don't let people tell you you're doing it wrong if you're having fun. Like right now, this doesn't look like a flower to me. This looks kind of like a blob, right? So what is it that makes it look like a flower? Is it having a stem that comes down? Maybe that's part of what it is. It's creating some of these textures that come through. And I think what's happened is I kind of had too much information almost. It's too scribbly. But that's okay, really. Let's put this, even though it's not near the other flower, let's put that there. Maybe it has to be darker because this is in the background, right? Let's get that texture of that metal piece a little bit more. And then let's see, let's add, so now, even though I don't have this, let's change the angle here, and we'll put I'm going to move this a little bit, and I'm going to draw another flower down here that's just at the base. So let's start with the middle, just because that seems to be an easy way of creating that first part, right? Come through on the back. Looks like there's this inner area, and give it some textural, shading, some stippling, and then let's draw some petals. And some of these are, just from like my hand being used to moving a certain way when I draw a petal, and some of it is the inspiration of what's there. So there's another petal behind, get some other shapes behind. Let's get these things to connect here. And sometimes you can see when I draw over a line, it's because I'm looking at the flower, I'm not looking at my drawing. Come through here, scribbles. I think we got some short petals here. Coming off the bottom of the paper. Let's get some more of this stippling here to kind of give us some shadows. Come through with the line here. Come through underneath so that there's a shading in front of these. So that flower looks like it's in front a little bit. Let's put a, I'm going to draw this, there's another kind of flower that's here. Let's put that here. Doesn't have a middle, so we're looking at it from the bottom. And let's make this dark black and see how that looks. So it comes up from the bottom, or I should say it looks like it's in the background, right? Let's take these. Maybe this is something here where let's just make up some stuff where we kind of put some flowers in here because of the way this looks. Like it's a background way in the back. Let's put some scribbles, make it fill in this flower so it seems more like it's outdoors, right? Some different kinds of shading here. Put this down, and just really at this point just filling in the paper. Let's think of this as the horizon. Maybe this is a horizon back here, right? So we get these different flowers that are moving through. Just put black in here. Really, the design of the page is something that, as you do it, as you're doodling and filling up a page, just kind of think about, well, what would make this, what makes this sketch page, these doodles, what makes them, pulls everything together. How do we do this? Let's, like I said, let's put some different flowers back here. And now I am going to grab the thicker marker. So I think at this point, what I want to do is have this black come through underneath. And we're really kind of going to fill things in and kind of go back and forth, I think, in terms of, let's see if we can kind of come up with a good design in the paper here. Good design on the marker paper. Come through underneath. I think this whole corner. Fill it in with the black. Through up in here. Change it up so I get the tip of the marker. Ups and downs. Now, one of the things that's inspiring about sunflowers to me is it makes me think of the summer, what's coming up. I think there's something to be said about the way I believe sunflowers follow the sun as it goes through the day. So they change their angles based on where the sun's location is, which is kind of cool. That, you know, this, I mean, obviously they're living, but it's kind of a neat thing that, like, hey, here's this, you know, thing we think of as being inanimate that has a lot of animation to it. If you're, you know, if you look at it over the course of the day, it's just very slow. Okay, fill that in. Let's get this other corner here. And it'll come through. And you know what? I think I like the way this angle comes up, so let's put some shading in here. And then let's fill that in over here so that we get this angle a little bit more. And let's, I think, oh, just to go back. All right. Just, I think I want to fill that in a little bit. Dark there. And I'm going to sign it right here. With love. There you have it. Start with some inspiration. Hope you had fun today watching. And hey, give this a shot. If you do, let me know what inspires you. What gets you motivated to draw? What are the things that you find fun about creating art? Let me know in the comments below. Let everybody know. Let's, you know, shout it from the rooftops. Art is fun. You know, thanks a lot, everybody. Hey, if you can give somebody a reason to smile, you just might get to smile too. You know, and hey, if you made it this far, please be sure to give me a like, share this with your friends, subscribe if you haven't done so already, and I will see you next time. Thanks a lot, everybody. Take care. Bye.